Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another Disney dining review for you all. I'm going to be talking about Trattoria al Forno. Is that how you say it? Trattoria al Forno. Pretty sure that's how you say it. This is a character breakfast in the Walt Disney World, obviously. It is at the Boardwalk. This is the character dining experience with Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, Ariel, and Prince Eric, but characters are obviously always subject to change, which I will get to in a second. So this is simply a character breakfast. So if you were to go here at dinner or lunch, it is a different experience where you actually don't get to meet any characters. Just throwing that out there just so everybody knows, this is strictly for breakfast. If you have not seen one of my dining reviews before, the way that I like to do it is that I like to rank it in 4 different categories. So I rank it based on food, service, atmosphere, and overall experience. And then each category I give it a ranking out of 5, and then from there the total the restaurant or the experience could get would be 20, and then that way it's a total out of 20. Sorry, I still can't figure out how to say that properly, but anyways, I like to do this just because in case you are more looking for a character experience, you don't really care about the food, or you care way more about the food than anything else, then that way you can kind of see from my perspective that just because a restaurant has not great atmosphere, they might have incredible food. So that's kind of why I separate it into that way. So like I said, this is a character experience, so I'll be involving characters in the service category. So starting off with food, the food there is actually not a buffet or a family style meal, which is the first, and I think that this is actually one of the only places that we ate that wasn't actually a buffet for breakfast. So that was really nice that we actually got to pick what we wanted to eat. This is also a fixed price, I believe. Yes. So it's a fixed price, so you pay one standard price and then you get to pick from whatever you want on the menu. The menu has a bunch of different options that you can pick from. There's something for everyone for sure. So when you sit down at your table, they have a platter of pastries on the table, and it's actually in a little frying pan because this is like a Tangled and Ariel themed, so obviously the frying pan is related to Tangled. You got to pick a starter, so you got to either pick a fruit salad or a berry yogurt and granola parfait. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that we both got the fresh fruit to start. And then you got to pick obviously one entree and then your drink. I got like a specialty coffee, so I think I got like a latte or something, and then Austin got a smoothie, which he literally devoured like in 2 seconds. Like, he said it was so good. My coffee was really good too. I got the Swimmer's Delight, which is an egg white omelet with smoked salmon, goat cheese, spinach, mushroom, and tomato with breakfast potatoes. It was so good. I unfortunately did not eat basically any of it because I was so excited and like giddy because it was our second day and we were about to meet Rapunzel, and I just like was like floored. Like, I don't know. Do you ever get like that? Like, where you get so excited that your stomach, like, you can't contain your excitement and then you can't eat? That's how I was basically. So it was very good, and I wish that I could have brought it home and had it later, but obviously we were going right into a park after, so that was not an option. But what I did have of it was really good. They did not skip out on the goat cheese, which is like my top priority. Whenever you say that you have goat cheese, you better have a bunch of goat cheese on that plate and not just one little sprinkle of goat cheese. You need to have a lot of goat cheese, and they had a lot of goat cheese, so it was really good. Sorry, this is like so gonna be such a long video. So for food, I gave it a 4. I mean, it wasn't outstanding, but like it was definitely one of the best breakfasts that we had there. The only reason I gave it a low ranking was literally just because I did not eat everything, and I just like, I feel like if I had eaten the whole thing I could have given it a better review, but like because I literally only had 2 bites I was like, oh my gosh, this is really good, but like Rapunzel's right there. So that was kind of my extent of why I rated it the way I did. For service, this was probably one of the, I mean, okay, we ate at I think over like 16 different sit-down restaurants while we were there, so I'm gonna say this a lot, but this was probably one of the best service things that we had because of the characters. And it just like blew me away how amazing they were. Our waitress was awesome. She was so kind and polite, and sorry, this is like getting in the way. She was really good for being on time, and she was very prompt to know that like when the characters were there she kind of would step back, and then as soon as we had like a break in characters she would come and like make sure we were doing okay. Like she was awesome. I really liked her. But the characters were incredible, and like just one character specifically, actually no, 2, but one stood out for me. So like I said, you are supposed to meet Ariel, Prince Eric, Rapunzel, and Flynn. So we got 3 out of the 4 characters because our one character for some reason obviously wasn't there. So the way that they came out, first it was Flynn. So what they do is they play like a little thing, and then it'll say like something about the character, and then it'll like kind of lead it up to be like Flynn Rider or whatever. That was like the worst explanation ever, but anyways, we were like so lucky because our table was literally like the first table that all the characters came to. So it was like they came in like down a hall and then around a corner kind of, and then it was like our table. So we couldn't actually see them come in, but as soon as they turned the corner they were right there, and we were like, hi. So Flynn came out first. He was an awesome meet. Like he totally looked like Flynn Rider. He was awesome. We forgot to get him to sign the autograph book because we just were like kind of like, oh wait, characters, all of a sudden we need to take pictures, we need to do all this stuff. So we unfortunately didn't get his autograph. But then the next character that came out was Rapunzel, and I'm literally gonna cry talking about this. Then Rapunzel came out. So as they're like playing her little thing, I was like in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, she's coming. I was like prepping myself. I was like really prepared. And like because we couldn't see her like standing at the door, I had to like kind of like look around the corner to see. And so like as we're doing their little spiel, I was just like hoping that she would really look like Rapunzel, you know, like she would look like herself, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you do get characters that it's like, you could have done better, Disney, like, you know. And that's nothing against the people, like they are all stunning, like they are all so beautiful, and they're so good at what they do, but some of them just look more like the actual character than others. So, you know, I was just like really hoping that we would get like a really good one. So like I kind of looked around the corner and I saw her, and I like went back and I looked at Austin and I was like, that's Rapunzel. Like that's really Rapunzel. And Austin looked and he was like, wow, like that is really Rapunzel. Like she was incredible. Like looks wise, like I was floored. Like she seriously, sorry, I'm getting weird now. Like, but she seriously looked just like Rapunzel. Like it was incredible. So anyways, she came over and I was kind of starstruck. Like I've met Rapunzel before when I was 16. So like it's not like I'd never met her before. Sorry, I'm like getting really close to the camera because I'm getting excited. So I met her before, so it's not like I hadn't met her before. But when she came over, she was like super chatty. She like totally talked to us. Like there's so many characters that like I've mentioned, they kind of don't really know how to act around adults. And they kind of are like, oh, like they'll just kind of talk, and like either they'll talk a lot so that you can't really say anything and you can't really have a conversation with them, or if it's like a Mickey or whatever kind of character, they just kind of like give you a hug, take a picture, and go. But like she had a conversation with us. She stood there for a while, like she was talking with us, as soon as she came over, I don't know why I get weird about hugging princesses. I think it's just because it's like, it's actually like a person. But as soon as she came over, I was like, can I give you a hug? And she's like, of course. So like I gave her a hug and she was so sweet. And then I have a Tangled tattoo on my back. It's like, maybe I'll try and like insert a picture right here or something. But it's basically just like the sun and then some like design around it. So I wore an open back shirt so that when I met her, I could show her my tattoo. So when I was like, oh, I wanted to show you something. So I like turned around and showed her, and she just like, she reacted so well. Like she was like, oh, she goes, are you an artist too? And I said, not really. I just love your movie and I love you. And then the tears came and I was like, I was so embarrassed, but at the same time it was like, whatever, like it is what it is. But she was so good. Like she kind of like comforted me and she's like, it's okay, I cry when I'm happy too sometimes. And like she was just so sweet and I could not have asked for a better character experience from her. So anyways, so after the tears were out, we took some pictures. She took some pictures with Austin. I'll insert them here. I look like a mess because my hair was frizzy and I was just emotional wreck. But anyways, so then Rapunzel left and she went away and she did a couple more tables, and then I realized that we had forgot to get her to sign our autograph book. So I was like, crap. So when the characters came back around, they actually passed by our table to leave. So Austin was like, maybe just try and like flag her down when she comes back around to get her to sign. So I was like, okay, good idea. So then, sorry, that was such a long explanation. So then Ariel came out. So then we talked to Ariel for a little bit. She was beautiful. She was like so tiny and petite. Like she was so cute. But she was really good. And then we got our last character and I assumed that it was going to be Prince Eric. But then the Brave song came on and I was like, wait a moment, hold on. Like, whoa. Then Merida comes out and I'm like, I was not prepared for this. Like, I knew I was meeting Rapunzel and Ariel and then the boys. I did not think I was meeting Merida, who is my third favorite princess. Rapunzel, Merida, and Ariel. Those are my three favorite princesses. And I just got to meet them all at one time. Floored. So when Merida came out, she was incredible. She looked amazing and she was so jumpy and like her accent was awesome and like she was just so fun to talk to and like awesome. So that was just like such a pleasant surprise. Anyways, this is like literally the longest story ever. I'm so sorry. I really want to explain why this was an amazing experience and why you should go. After Merida had left, Rapunzel was about to come around to like leave. So I was going to say, oh, excuse me, Rapunzel, can you sign my autograph book? As she was like walking towards, I was like going to put my like fork and knife down and she comes literally like running over, and I thought she was gonna like run out, but she like runs over to our table and she goes, I just wanted to give you another hug. And she comes and gives me a hug and I was like, oh my gosh. And then the waterworks started again. This time I could kind of control them a lot better, but I was just like, oh my gosh, like the time she spent, like she knew how much I loved her and like she knew that there was a ton of kids around and like they would spend more time with the kids, like, you know, like, and she did, she was awesome, but like you would spend more time with the kids, you wouldn't really care about the adults, but like she literally came over and gave me another hug and I said, oh my gosh, I said thank you. And then I asked her if she could sign our autograph book and she's like, oh, of course. So she like signed her name and then she kind of like looks at me and she goes, she's like, what's your name? And I said, oh, it's Caitlin. So she wrote to Caitlin and she like asked how to spell it properly, which was like nice. And she wrote Rapunzel, and then she wrote best day ever. And then she kissed the book, and then she was like, I wrote best day ever because this was the best day ever. And like, and then I lost it again after she had left. But like when Austin and I were sitting there, I just lost it again because I just couldn't believe, like I had such high expectations, but like that breakfast just blew them out of the water. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Here is like how she signed. To Caitlin, best day ever, Rapunzel. And then her little kiss. I'm like, how amazing was that? So, obviously, you know, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I would have given it a 10 out of 5 because it was just incredible. Like, it was the best character experience I had the entire trip we were there. I couldn't get over it. Like, just above and beyond. Disney, like, that was amazing. I loved that. Okay, I'll be quick about the rest of this. Atmosphere, I honestly only gave it about a 4 for atmosphere. It was really cool that it was on the boardwalk, and like it was just like a different, like, outside was obviously different, but like inside it didn't feel Disney at all. It felt just like, obviously at like lunch and dinner, it's just a I think it's an Italian restaurant, so it's just an Italian restaurant, so it's very like clean, not clean, it's beautiful inside, but it's not really Disney. It doesn't feel like you're in like a Disney character breakfast or whatever. So that's the reason I gave it a 4. It was still beautiful and like really pretty, but it wasn't a 5 obviously. And then overall, I gave it a 4.5. Like honestly a 5, but 4.5 is what I have written down. And that's solely based on character. Like, it was incredible. I couldn't believe it. Like, I think because it's such a small room, there's not a ton of tables, the characters really can spend time with you. And like, it's sad because you really don't get that with a lot of other places, because Disney, like, it's like it's mass produced, right? So it's like when you go to a breakfast or when you go to a dinner or whatever, and it's like you're in a room, but there's also like 5 other rooms that the characters have to go around to. So it's like really quick. But this, like, they really took their time and they stayed there, and then they do like this fun dance and they run around, and it's like, Disney, don't change this breakfast. Like, this breakfast was incredible. It's so nice. It feels so personal. It was like super good food. Overall, this was a 17.5 out of 20. But like, if you have a little girl or a little boy who loves Disney and loves Rapunzel and loves Ariel, or just like likes princesses in general, like, go to this breakfast. It was amazing. Sorry, my camera cut off. I don't know where it cut off. It's obviously telling me like, hurry up. I definitely would go back there 100%. The only reason I wouldn't go back there is because I don't want to change the experience, because like it was so awesome. But yeah, overall, like, it was amazing. Go there, bring your kids, bring yourself if you're an adult. They were awesome. It was just me and Austin, and like, it was awesome. So yes, that was everything for that review. That was such a long review. I'm so sorry. But I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you would like to see more of these videos, then yeah, I will see you when I see you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.